This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That solo there is one that I often use to illustrate something that I call the Clapton Paradox. So what am I talking about here, the Clapton Paradox? Well, it goes like this. Even by his own admission, for large parts of his career, he was pretty much just phoning it in. The fire in his belly had gone out. That sort of electricity and magic that you heard on the Beano album and through the whole kind of Cream period, and especially for me on the Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs album. After 461 Ocean Boulevard, that just wasn't there, and it just everything seemed a bit lackluster. And as I say, in his autobiography, it's a great read, by the way, go and check it out. He pretty much says the same sort of thing himself. And he didn't really kind of get back into the bit between his teeth again, really, I think, until the Journeyman album in 1989. That's when I started sort of taking a little bit more of an interest in it. But that period, let's say from the mid-70s to the late 80s, I think he had the best guitar tone he's ever had, courtesy of his famous Mongrel Stratocaster Blackie. Great sounding guitar. And he retired that guitar to kind of basically go with Fender with the signature model that exists to this day in one form or another. But every so often, during that sort of fallow period in his work, he would just play, some kind of magic moment. Just the fire, the spark would be reignited. And that happened on this particular track, a song called Forever Man, which, if memory serves me right, was track 1, side 2, I'm thinking in terms of the vinyl album that I used to own, of the album Behind the Sun. The rest of the album, to be honest, is, I think, pretty forgettable. But that one track, Steve Lukather plays rhythm guitar on it. I don't know, maybe it was the fact that, Clapton was making eye contact with Luke in the studio, had something to do with it. But it's not a shreddy, kind of difficult, virtuoso solo, but he plays it with such passion and, such fantastic phrasing that I thought it was worth putting under the spotlight. As I say, that period, he never had a better guitar sound, but he wasn't really playing to his full potential for, most of that time. So that's why I think solos like this are something of, diamonds in the rough, gems that are worth treasuring, if you like. So anyway, that's why I called the video the Clapton Paradox. You've heard the solo, or my attempt at it. Let's take a little bit of a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, so starting as always with what chords we're playing over. Essentially, we're in the key of D minor here, and we have B flat, going to C, going up to a D minor 7. And we do that 3 times, but on the third time, once we get to the D minor 7, we kind of bounce down to a G minor 7 for the sort of second half of that bar, and then B flat, C, D minor 7 again, and then B flat to C, and then goes back into D minor 7 where the riff comes in for the remainder of the song. So put all that together and you get this. 2, 3, 4. And that's basically your chord sequence. So no surprises here, we're going to be using D minor pentatonic. And that's it, folks, pretty much. There's no clever fancy chord tone targeting or, additional notes thrown into the pentatonic. It is just, excuse me, a D minor pentatonic. We start up at the top end of pattern 2. Pattern 2 D minor pentatonic would look like this. We start up here bending the G at the 15th fret on the first string up to an A. So we get this kind of... And then we conclude that lick with... So... Then we come into... this lick down here in pattern 1. So interesting that even though we're not in a blues setting, Eric still puts that little kind of blues microtonal bend on the minor third. This kind of thing here. So you can take the boy out of the blues, but you can't take the blues out of the boy. Then we're into essentially a Chuck Berry lick. Like that there, kind of a syncopated kind of thing, given that this note here, the bend lasts for half a beat, and this note here is lasting for a quarter of a beat. So you're getting a lick which lasts for 3/4 of a beat, basically. So obviously that's going to syncopate it, and it's going to fall unevenly across the beats, which is what makes it work so well. Essentially, you just do 6 of these. Like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then bending this C note here up to a D. Then this just descending little pattern 1 thing here, which I'll play slowly. Like that, and then again, just kind of restating an idea that he's already used. Like that, just top end of pattern 1, pentatonic. And then we conclude the solo by going back to a similar lick that we opened with. So that's what's going on. The thing that makes this solo work isn't the kind of, as I said, the clever note choices in terms of landing on this note over that chord and so on. It is just the phrasing. So we've got a very strong question and answer or call and response kind of thing going on here. You can think of that as the question, and this is the response. You can hear how they balance each other out. And then you've got the... think of that as one kind of long question, and there's your response to that. And then another question, and so it's kind of broken up into separate kind of phrases, if you like. He was never one for, or never has been one for, kind of just doing a long rambling stream of notes. You watch him playing live, and he's quite comfortable just letting his hand drop away from the guitar while he thinks what to play next, and it's that punctuation that will give you that sort of question, answer, call and response kind of thing. And as you can hear in this solo, it can make a solo. You don't have to think in terms of, I've got to land on the 5th of that chord or the 3rd of this chord, or, adding a 9th into a pentatonic or anything like this. Fantastically effective solo here, and it's just using, the essentially the top end of this pentatonic run that we all know so well. Starting here and doing a little bit in, and there it is. It's one of Eric's standout solos from what was, I think, a pretty lean decade for him, the 80s, but I've been teaching this solo for a while now to a few students, and I thought it was time I documented it on here. So there you go. Now you know what's going on. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address. Link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are, you know where, linked down below in the description. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it entertaining, useful and informative in some small way at least. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitars and all manner of other things, whatever crops up basically. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.